Hey, Indy Autonomous Challenge teams, welcome. Hackathon number 2 closing event. We are so excited to host you today. We are so excited by the work that you all did over the last week and a half, submitting outstanding code that are controlling vehicles and putting forth the operations that you guys are designing and today's event is all the opportunity to showcase the work that you've done. Thank you all for joining. I'm Matt Peak with Energy Systems Network, excited to be here and be a part of this. And really quickly, just want to say a quick thanks to ANSYS, who has been working intensely behind the scenes for the last close to 48 hours to take all of your great work and orchestrate it into the events that we're going to be seeing today. So hope you all have your popcorn popped and your potato chips handy and whatnot and are ready for the show to begin. Now to turn it over to Tom at the ANSYS team to lead the way.
Matt, thank you very much. For 50 years, ANSYS has helped make superheroes of our customers across industry and around the world, whether it be in automotive, in aerospace, in defense, in heavy industrial, in mechanical, you name it. And we are thrilled to be working with each of you to help make some superheroes on the racetrack as well. So I am Tom Smithyman from ANSYS. I am joined today, and I'll be doing your play-by-play. I'm joined with color commentary. Ryan Gillerin will be working with me, giving some color on what we're going to see from all of your results. And Shubhang Mittal, who you know very well, answered a lot of your questions during the hackathon. He will be doing some of the replays. So we expect an exciting, exhilarating next couple of minutes as we run through the results. But first up, let's talk a little bit about the venue that you were designing for. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway was built in 1909. It's the home of, of course, the Indianapolis 500 as well as the Brickyard 400. It features a 2.5-mile track, 4 turns, banking of 9.2 degrees. These turns are 1/4 of a mile long, and the 2 straightaways are 5/8 of a mile. And Ryan, the track temperature, the conditions are fantastic for racing. Track temperature is about 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius, and the sky, Ryan, is beautifully clear.
Well, Tom, since it's a simulation, we get to decide all of these operating conditions. You know, it's kind of like playing the role of Mother Nature. And today we decided to take it easy on all of our contestants by providing them with optimum racing conditions. All the fans in the stands today should be happy about this too, Tom.
Yeah, the only problem is as we're going around the track now, you can see that instead of the 400,000 normal fans that you would see on a given race day, we seem to be practicing some extreme social distancing. So yet another thing that COVID has screwed up over the course of the year. So let's jump then to the cards that you are racing in today. This is the Dallara IL-15. This is a fantastic package that each of the team have been dealing with over the past 10 days. The chassis is just the starting point, of course. The Deep Orange team found an amazing powertrain that's married with this chassis. And the car puts out 335 horsepower. It weighs just over 630 kilograms. And it's capable, Ryan, of more than 320 kilometers per hour. And I do have to say, I had an opportunity to work a little bit with the Dallara team. Dallara is actually a longtime customer of ANSYS. A couple of years ago, I was in Italy, had an opportunity to interview the CEO of Dallara. So if you've got some spare time tonight and want to learn a little bit more about what ANSYS is doing with Dallara, I encourage you to go to YouTube and just search for ANSYS and Dallara, and you'll see an interview that we did. It's pretty cool stuff. The big difference, though, in this race, right? Everyone's got the same car. Everyone's got the same motor. You don't have a driver. And Ryan, who are they going to get to replace that human driver?
Well, Tom, the students get a sandbox environment of an amazing suite of sensors that ensures a 360-degree field of view almost 3 times over, you know, to reduce any redundancies. This environment contains 5 cameras, 4 radars, 2 LiDARs, and 1 GPMS IMU sensor, just kind of as the cherry on top. And to process all of that sensor data, the powerful compute hardware from AD-Link. All of the track and vehicle and sensor suites have been recreated in our simulation environment for the competition today. Let's get into the challenges that the students were presented with last week. I'm sure all these teams have been having nightmares about finding that optimum race line. Well, I mean, that is if they've been able to get any sleep, but Shubham, maybe you can tell us more about the challenges that the teams will be competing in today.
Hey, Ryan. Yeah, so the students were presented with 2 challenges. One was straight up no obstacles, no competitors, just them, their stack, the car, and the track. And so the first challenge that was queued up for the teams was to go around the track as quickly as possible. For this particular one, we gave them a rolling start. They started at 150 kilometers an hour behind about 100 meters behind the brick line. And it all comes down to what race line they're going to take around the track. And let's get into it and look at some of the times that these guys have posted.
Awesome.
All right, with that, ladies, gentlemen, bots, start your motors and let's get into the first heat. And they are off. All right, Cavalier placing itself on an outside line right off the bat. Interesting, but KIST, Ryan's going wide at the entry as we get into that first turn.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach. I think that's something that we're going to be seeing quite often here today as teams will try to take the turn wide and clip that apex as much as possible. You know, I'm really interested with this KIST team. They're just brimming with experience in AV, whether that be on the ground or in the air. You know, back in 2016, this team won the inaugural IROS Autonomous Drone Racing competition and placed second in the same event just 2 years later. They're a fierce competitor and will be looking to place on the podium in this challenge too. Let's just hope their vehicle doesn't take flight like the autonomous drones that they've been winning with, and you know, if they do that, that'll place them at the bottom of the leaderboard. But let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, and Ryan, WUT really seems to be taking a completely different approach, right? I mean, they're keeping a low speed and just playing it pretty safe here.
Yeah, I see that as well. You know, you can't really you know, afford to take any risks here, but as you can see, they're looking a lot slower than some of the other teams that are competing here today. But hey, they're still on the track, they're still within the lines, and you know, let's see what time they come up with here.
And as they start to approach the final straightaway, it looks like KIST came in at a flat 75 seconds. So congratulations, that's really cool. Turn of events though. Whoa. For WUT. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not good. They've gone into the pit. Just a bit outside, huh, Ryan?
Yeah, it looks like the sensors detected the 2 lanes, and the stack seemed to want to limp back home into the pit there. That's going to be a DNF for the team there.
Yeah, did not finish. All right, that is a little disappointing for the WUT team, playing it safe right up until the very end. Okay, why don't we move then as we watch poor WUT? Yeah, we'll go to the leaderboard. So strong start, good bar set by the KAIST team. So they did it in 75 seconds, 1 minute 15 seconds. It's going to be interesting, Ryan, to see if they're able to hold that throughout the competition.
Yeah, that's a pretty high bar set, quite right off the bat here. You know, but we have a whole slew of teams looking forward to getting on the track and trying to beat that. As you can see here, we also have Cavalier Autonomous Racing coming in just behind them with a time of 1 minute 16 seconds and 15 milliseconds, and then just behind them the Texas A&M team finishing in third, just 15 milliseconds slower than the Cavalier Racing team. And so, unfortunately,
so right, a second and a half that are separating the three finishers, huh?
Yeah, really close times right off the rip here. It looks like it's going to be an interesting race for the rest of the day, but let's hope we can keep this speed going. And unfortunately for the WUT team, you see them at the bottom of the leaderboard with a DNF. That's likely where they're going to remain. But let's look at our next heat of competitors and see where they can place in this board and maybe shake things up a bit.
Okay. And they are up. Oh my, RIT.
Whoa.
What is happening here, Ryan?
Well, Tom, it looks like they got a little hungry and decided to race to the front of the hot dog stand instead, Tom. I don't know. I've never seen this approach before. I think that's going to be a did not finish there.
Yeah, look at our friends at Autonomous as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like the back wheels must have skated on them a little bit and sent them into the cabbage as well. It's looking not too good for those two teams.
Yeah, Autonomous is putting the what in autonomous driving, it looks like. So I noticed, right before RIT had its issues that Eagle had a little bit of a bumpy start. It seemed like there's some shimmying. If you look at their wheel right now, it's going back and forth. Ryan, any idea what's going on there?
Yeah, Tom, I do see that. I think it's the lane keep feature that needs some tuning. However, it does look to be performing a little better around the corners. I can see it here. They're starting to get the speed wobbles a little bit. Yeah, they might want to just go back to the drawing board and try to tune up that lane keep feature a bit.
Yeah, and we're focusing on the negative here, Ryan, but we should really point out that TOM is they've just crossed the line, but they had a great line throughout. Didn't seem like they were nervous about skirting the borders at all. I wonder if that's going to give them an edge over KAST.
Yeah, I see that as well. I was watching them, and they were just really hugging those turns. I'm curious to see if they may have been riding the track limits a little too much on that third corner around the pit entry. Let's send it to Shubong and find out how that turned out.
Yeah, I had my eye on that one too. It's usually tricky right around the pit entry where you sort of lose those detections. But my God, they did an amazing job of keeping that line throughout. I really thought by looking at the original footage that they might have skirted the border at the end of the pit entry, but all I can say is that's a perfect line to take through there.
I can only agree with you, Shubong. And if we have a look at the leaderboard, it definitely shows that as TUM comes in first place here, bumping KAIST from the top spot. Tom, what do you think about that?
Pretty interesting. That tight racing line really did pay off, and they just managed to squeeze. I mean, 5/10 of a second is pretty impressive. It makes me wonder how much more time there is to squeeze out on this course. What do you think? Is there a better lap time out there?
It's going to be tough to beat, Tom. I really do think so. But we never know. These teams are filled with intelligent and knowledgeable engineers that may be able to squeeze out, maybe just a millisecond and take that top spot. You'll see here with the rest of the leaderboard, Cavalier and Texas A&M. They get bumped to 3 and 4 as KAIST also gets bumped to second place here. However, Eagle Autonomous coming into the 5th place here. Unfortunately they're going to be awarded a 2-second penalty as they turned in their run in real time mode and not in synchronous mode. It's unfortunate, but it looks like the penalty may not have had a difference though, as they still find themselves at the bottom of the leaderboard. They're going to look to improve that in the second challenge here. As you look at the bottom of our board as well, you'll see RIT and Autonomous, the two cars that decided to go on a little excursion. They finished with DNFs and also find themselves at the bottom of the board.
Yeah. So once again, less than about a second and a half separating all of the top 4. So pretty cool stuff. So why don't we go to the next heat and see if anybody can knock them off. And here we go. So I'm looking at the right of the screen, and Sarathi seems to be having those same issues that we saw earlier, Ryan, with the sort of the jiggling of the wheel here.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too, Tom. It looks like the exact same problem that Eagle Autonomous was facing, but maybe even a bit worse. I hope that they're able to keep the vehicles stable and complete a lap and actually put a time on the board.
Yeah, and IUPUI immediately darting to that inside line, the first chance that was available, and pretty much sticking there from what I can see.
Yeah, we saw from the TUM team that hugging that line seems to be a good approach. You can see the Crimson Racing line is very similar to that line as well. Hugging that inside line, we might have a tight finish here at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and did you just see that, Ryan? The Wisconsin Autonomous, very aggressive lines. Are they going over in that second turn? Are they going over? I think we're gonna throw that to Shabong here after we finish.
Yeah, I definitely want to take another look at that. That was dangerously close. That might be a DNF. Let's see if we can get a closer look here.
Okay, and all of our heat members have finished. So Shabong, take it away.
Yeah, so I saw that wheel hidden behind the dashboard too, but it seems like a really clean cut. So they hardly had the tire, I wouldn't say over the line. They just managed to clip that perfect apex with their rear wheel, and they're completely legal here. So their time counts.
Nice. All right, so let's take it to the leaderboard then and see where we stand. And interesting, Crimson AR shaved off 1/10 of a second, which now puts TUM in second place, Crimson at first, and our new contender, IUPUI, now in fourth. It looks like, Ryan, some more penalties.
Yeah, we see penalties for the aerial team here and the Wisconsin team. Unfortunately, turning in run in real time can have some real negative effects on their ranking. As you see, they may have been able to place a bit higher without those 2-second penalties. But hey, you asked the question last heat. You asked if they were able to squeeze out any more time and finish at the top of the leaderboard, and Crimson Autonomous Racing just proved to us today that it was possible.
Yeah, very impressive. And we've only got one heat left, so let's see if they can remain here at the top of the leaderboard. So let's take a look at this last heat of 6. And wow, Polymove and Black and Gold, they are on a tear. They may very well challenge Crimson for that top spot. I again don't know if there's enough time to shave off, but and Hawaii too, for that matter, is a very aggressive line.
Yeah, it seems to be neck and neck between these three. I was looking into this Polymove team a little bit, and so they hail from one of the most prestigious technical universities in Italy, and they're known across the globe as one of the leaders in the field of vehicle control. Whether it be from mapping and localization to trajectory and planning and tracking, this team seems to have all of their bases covered. But this Indy Autonomous Challenge should present a unique opportunity for them and really look to exploit this team's expertise in all of these areas. If they can step up to the challenge, look for them to be right there at the top of the leaderboard. And from the looks of it, look for Black and Gold in Hawaii to be at the top of the board as well. This is really close.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm actually wondering if maybe we've got an error or something in the in our video, because Black and Gold, Polymove, and Hawaii, my goodness, they seem to be. I mean, it looks like we're looking at the same video. Panther's doing well, but clearly in a different class. And Hawaii, what happened there?
I don't know. It looks like they crossed the line before they went out of bounds there. I think they were just doing a little celebratory donut there, but I agree with you, Tom. It was a really close finish there at the end between those three teams. I wonder if we can get a look at an overlay of their racing lines. That would be really cool. I think with the power of simulation, that should be possible. I mean, Shabong, can you add to that?
Yeah, I thought they were just sharing their software stacks and they came up with the same results. So we decided to overlay the three of them together. So right off the start, they have the same starting speeds, the same starting position, and they really have to position themselves into turn 1. Wow. And you can see the benefits right off the bat. So, Polymove positioned themselves perfectly into turn 1, and they have the lead right out of turn 2 as well. And then another interesting thing that I saw here is you can see Black and Gold staying away from the inside line on the straights while Polymove really sticks it through there. And then, University of Hawaii, they seem to be going inside and out. They seem to like touch the line sometimes, but come back out. I'm not sure what the thinking is there. They might lose some time with the amount that they're swerving in and out. But look at this shot here. I mean, if this was a real race, Polymove would be providing some sort of a slipstream to Black and Gold as well as Hawaii. And I just hope in the real race they have a maneuver in stock to be able to overtake them in that slipstream.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, Shubhang, and as that Hawaii team is moving in and out, I think they might be trying to stay behind the Black and Gold team and maybe trying to get a wind advantage here. A little shake and bake action. We'll see how that they weren't able to make the turn there, but let's see how that turns out on the leaderboard here.
Yeah, let's see if Polymove, and they did. Polymove did move into the new first slot, shaving another 1/10 of a second. So very interesting. Three of the teams that we just saw making it into the top 6. Very impressive for Polymove, Black and Gold Racing, and University of Hawaii. Very cool.
Really impressive stuff out of this heat.
And I apologize, I made a mistake. We do actually have another heat coming up. So there is an opportunity to outpace Polymove, but my goodness, I don't know how they're going to do it. So let's find out. Let's go ahead and go to the next heat. And here we go. Okay, wow, really, Ryan, really wide line here for Euro racing. What do you think the thinking is there?
Tom, I've seen that a little bit, but this might be the widest line I've seen. However, I think they're just being really aggressive at attacking that apex. We did check the logs to see if they went a little too wide and maybe touch the barrier there. But after checking the logs, it looks like they did a good job of staying within track limits. And this lap should count if they can finish in good tone here.
All right, and we're seeing a couple of different shots, most of them on that. I believe that's the 3rd turn at this point. And yeah, Euro Racing seems to be. Whoa, that was a little close.
Wow.
For Euro Racing, yeah, they seem to be taking a little bit of a parabola approach.
Yeah, they seem to be trying to touch all limits of the track here, but. As we said, we checked the logs, and they think they stayed within the limits here.
All right, fair enough. And now Autonomous Tiger, Euro Racing, Pegasus have all crossed, just waiting on our Autonomous Racing Graz, and they're going through that final turn as we speak.
Yep, getting a little close to the wall. Wow, that was close there. That's well, let's see if they touched it. I think they should be good though.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so let's take a look at the leaderboard and see if anybody was fast enough to take over the new #1 position. And no. So Polymove has won this first scenario, coming in first with a time of 1 minute 14 seconds and 75 milliseconds. Although our friends at Euro Racing did crack the top 10, not enough to get them into the top 3 though. So our top spots remain unchanged.
Yeah, really impressive stuff out of Polymove. That we knew that one was going to be a tough one to beat. Looking at some of the other competitors in this last heat, Pegasus logs a decent enough lap time that should have placed them within the top 10. Unfortunately, they were awarded a penalty for running in real time, and that'll kick them to the 13th spot there.
Wow. Wow, that's a pretty big penalty. There's others maybe didn't matter as much, but for Pegasus, it's a pretty big hit.
Yeah, it's a tough break for them.
Okay, so why don't we take a look at what this means in terms of our point spread as we go into the second scenario. So go ahead and flip. Okay, so that gives Polymove the total of 50 points. Unfortunately for our friends at ARG, that means 0 points. And if you take ARG out, if you look at the top what is that, 17 or so, 16, 17 teams. That is the 106% rule that that you find in racing. So pretty lifelike, accurate results, Ryan.
Yeah, I agree, Tom. That's a pretty good race for our first challenge. Fitting within that 106% rule. Unfortunately, Thomas Racing Graz finds themselves at the bottom of the leaderboard. But I have high hopes for this team to improve in the second challenge. This team was formed only just a year ago and already has a few trophies under their belt. They've competed in Robo Race's inaugural season Alpha last year, and let's see if they can turn around their performance here today. Shubham, let's have a look at the second challenge and see what the teams will be competing in as far as this second event here.
Yeah, Ryan. So the thinking behind the second challenge was it to be short, adrenaline-filled, and the introduction of some dynamic agents in there. So the idea here is they have 2 additional agents in front of them who are trying as hard as they can to prevent an overtake. So the target for these teams are simple. It's on the back straight between turns 2 and 3. All they have to do is avoid a collision while one of the ego agents blocks their overtake maneuver, and then find a way across the line as fast as they can.
Shubham, you make it sound pretty simple. All they have to do is avoid a collision.
Well, I set up the scenario, so let's see how they did.
All right, sounds good. So as we go into this first heat in the second scenario, you're going to see the pacing has changed considerably. So we're talking about just matters of seconds here instead of about a minute, minute 15, minute and a half. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first heat, and and we'll run them not quite contemporaneously. Okay, so WT, well, playing it pretty safe here, Ryan, hanging back, not wanting to engage with the obstacles in front of it, huh?
Yeah, I think they just decided to take the easy approach here and just send this one in. Just try to log a decent time here. You can't blame them for that, but
Yeah.
was hoping to see something a little riskier out there on the track.
Yeah, so the good news is they finished. Bad news is probably not going to set any land speed records here. So let's go ahead and see what Cavalier did. There we go. Yeah, much different approach from Cavalier. Immediately went to the outside and just went right around that middle car, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely a more risky move. Something that I was hoping to see here. I think that outside line is going to be, a move that a lot of teams decide to take. You can see the Cavalier team going off the track here, but they logged their lap time. That's gonna count. I think they're just doing another celebratory donut, kind of like we saw out of the Hawaii team earlier.
Yeah, it's a pretty elaborate donut, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going. And Sandeep, you can run these a little bit more contemporaneously. KAIST, yeah, same thing, right smack dab in the middle, and lapped its competition. So that's pretty cool. And let's see what Texas A&M is doing. Going right around the right side again.
Yep, there's that outside line. I knew that was going to be something that everybody liked to do. As you saw with KAIST, though, you can take a different approach as they thread the needle there. That was a pretty bold strategy. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see if it paid off. Wow.
And yeah, how about that for neck, and neck? So not a virtual tie, an absolute tie with Cavalier, KAIST, and Texas A&M. As we discussed, Ryan, WT, driverless, hung back, didn't engage with the other drivers, the obstacles in front of it, and it's clearly paying the price here.
Yeah. They're also awarded a penalty for running in real time. However, it's going to have no effect on their performance today, as they're still at the bottom of the leaderboard as we speak. But yeah, those top 3 teams, wow, what a time! I think we're going to be seeing a lot of similar times today, but that is a good start to the challenge here.
Yeah, and I guess the timing maybe not so important as making sure that there isn't a crash, right?
Absolutely. I'm very happy with these teams' results here. We didn't see any collisions. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good race.
All right, excellent. So let's get to the next T here. And first up is TUM. And Yeah, threading that needle once again.
It's like butter.
Okay, and what are our friends at RIT doing? They gonna engage? Maybe not. Maybe waiting. Yeah, they're waiting for the car in front of it to make its move, and as it just RIT slowly goes on the outside and coasts its way to the finish. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
Looks like they may have made a little contact there, Tom, but I think it was after their log time. I think we're going to let this one pass here.
Fair enough. All right, let's take another look at the leaderboard. And once again, RIT, yeah, it looks like RIT is, Ryan got a penalty, but everybody else seems to be right at that 13,850.
Yeah, we got 4 teams tied for that top spot. Unfortunately, the WUT team drops down a spot to 6th place, but it looks like it's gonna be a close one here today.
Okay, so let's get to the next heat. We'll start off with Crimson. Now look at that going into the inside.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that done here today.
Will it pay off, Ryan?
I really hope so. I hope so. I like to see a team taking a unique approach to this challenge. I hope it does pay off for them.
Yeah, and so Sarathi, yeah, pretty similar, going to the outside like we've seen multiple times, cutting a little close there, but pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Ariel gonna thread the needle? Nope, they're gonna take it from to the outside as well.
Yeah, that seems to be a crowd favorite line here. Everybody likes that outside approach.
You think that's a safer approach?
We'll see here. Oh, the IUPUI.
Wow. Got a little bit scary there for IUPUI.
It was pretty close. They cut it close there. It looks like their sensor stack was on its toes and like a cobra ready to strike at any moment. Unfortunately, I think they may have waited a little too long to strike on this one.
So Ryan, I want to take another look at that Crimson team. So Shaban, tell us what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the most unique approaches. I mean, I never really expected anyone to hang back until the inside line clears. My expectation was they would take either the middle line or the outside line while the vehicles make their maneuvers. But yeah, this is a clean run. They managed to keep it within the lines, and I'm really interested to see what time they clocked. Did they lose or did they gain time while they took the inside line? What did they see here?
Let's take a look at the leaderboard and answer that question. And the answer is none of the above. All of our folks have pretty much come in right around the same time. Although it does look like that indecisiveness has cost IUPUI just a little bit of time, Ryan.
Yeah, I see that there. They're placed at the number 7 seed. As far as the rest of these teams, placing or tying for that top spot, I think the strategy here is as long as they stay on the throttle, it looks like they can get the best time irrespective of what line they take. I thought maybe that Crimson team might be able to shave some milliseconds off their time taking that inside line, but, it looks like they still tied for the top spot.
All right.
Also, we got a penalty awarded to Team Ariel here, but they remain in the 8th spot here. So, and following that up, we have RIT dropping a spot at the 9th spot, and WT at the bottom of the leaderboard at 10.
All right, so let's go to this next heat, and this is the one that really lit everybody on fire last time. We had Black and Gold, Paula Move, Hawaii. So first up is Panther, hanging back, and maybe. Oh no, Ryan, we have our first collision.
Yeah, yikes, Tom. That's clearly a crash. That's going to be a DNF. Hopefully their car doesn't have too much damage and they can pull out of this one and still be able to race in future races.
Yeah, well, one thing we know, the driver is safe, right? So Absolutely. Black and Gold taken to the outside. Makes sense. Nice clean line on that straightaway. What is our leader Paula Move doing? Just gonna snake right between the two of them. What a nice line.
Yeah, it looks like they got the throttle pin too. So look for them to be at the top of the board.
Yeah, Paula Move really seems to be establishing itself as the team to beat. Okay, what's our friends at the University of Hawaii doing? Going around the outside, no issues at all. Very nice.
Looking pretty good.
Okay, so the question becomes, once again, did any of these teams, Polymove in particular, knock off our leader? No, but they became our leaders. So, wow, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams at number 1. And interestingly enough, Black and Gold Racing just coming in just 0.5 of a second, 0.05 of a second, excuse me, behind the leaders.
Yeah, Black and Gold Racing, valiant effort. 0.05 of a second. That's really close. And unfortunately, it drops them to the 8th spot there. But it's still a very respectable time. And then rounding out the leaderboard, we have IUPUI at 9. University of Hawaii, as we just saw in that heat there, they come in at the 10 spot with a 14-1. And Ariel, RIT, and WUT finishing at 11, 12, and 13. And as you can see, those penalties really had a negative effect on their time, putting them at the bottom of the leaderboard. That's unfortunate, Tom.
Yeah, it didn't make a huge difference in the first scenario, but this time around, it really is the difference between doing something great and maybe being out of it altogether. All right, one more heat left. This time I mean it. So let's go to that final heat. And first up is Autonomous Tiger, going around and going outside like we've seen. Pretty smooth, Ryan. Nice.
Looking good, Tom. We've seen this line again, time and time again, and it seems to really pay off for every team.
Yeah, seems to be the decision of choice, and we see Autonomous Racing Garage do the same thing. Yeah, almost indistinguishable from Autonomous Tiger. Okay, what's different with Euro Racing? Yeah, going to the outside again.
Woo! They're cutting it close though. They went as like Autonomous Tiger and ARG. They took that outside line, but they decided to cut it a little close, and you can see they almost collided with that other car there. But I think they're good.
Okay, great. And then our friends at Pegasus. Maybe there we go. Whoa, close collision there. Seems like they're having a little trouble getting started.
Yeah, they look to be getting a few speed wobbles there as they're trying to pass this car here, but playing it safe and performing just a maneuver after the dust settles, managed to put them in, with a clean time.
All right, so let's go to the leaderboard one last time and see what happened in this second challenge. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 first place finishers, all with a time of 13.85 seconds. And then you see the rest of the teams, Black and Gold, Racing Garage, etc. I mean, Ryan, can't possibly get tighter than this.
No, Tom, it can't. Very impressive stuff out of these 9 or 10 teams here. It looks like their drivers really had a lead foot. Well, that's if they were to have a driver, but they really put the pedal to the floor there and logged the best time.
Virtually, yeah. All right. So what does this mean? So let's combine the two scores from the first scenario and the second scenario, and what do we get? Not a big surprise. Our friends from Italy, Polymove, has a perfect score of 100 points, coming in first in scenario number 1, and of course being part of that big group of first place finishers in the second scenario. Crimson right behind them, and Tiger coming up at number 3. Ryan, your thoughts?
Yeah, we knew this Polymove team was going to be a force, and as you can see at the top of the leaderboard, they have a perfect score, scoring a perfect 50 points in the first scenario and a perfect 50 points in the second scenario, giving them an overall 100 points. Not surprising stuff out of there. With the Crimson and Tiger teams coming in just short of them, the historical rivalry between these two teams, and the Tide just edging it out over Autonomous Tiger here again today. As we look at the rest of the board, we have TUM coming in 4th, KAIST in 5th, followed by Black and Gold Racing and Euro Racing at the 7th seed there, all within a few points of each other. It was a pretty close race, Tom.
Amazingly close, but we have hit our checkered flags. So we can flip to the next, and you can see it's our virtual checkered flag. For those of you who follow racing regularly, you know that when you get to the winner's circle, when you're there with Polymove, obviously we don't want anybody drinking and driving. That's not necessarily a problem when you get to autonomous racing. But of course, what do? We drink the milk, we pour the milk all over the winners. And even though Polymove is from Italy, I don't think they want to be ruining that great bottle of red wine that they're probably going to have. So let's look at that winner's podium, Ryan.
And as you see from the previous leaderboard, we have Polymove in that first place, edging out all competitors, and coming in second with the silver medal. We have University of Alabama, Roll Tide. Beautiful finish out of this team, and then followed in third place by Auburn University, straight out of the Gav Lab with the bronze medal, War Damn Eagle. Let's take a look at that first place team, though. As we all know, Polymove coming in first place. I mentioned it earlier. This team had all the tools to make a run at the top spot, and that's exactly what they did here today. They rose to the occasion and will be taking home the trophy. Well, that's a virtual trophy in this case, just like the race, but that doesn't mean they'll be leaving empty-handed here today. Let's pass the mic over to Joe Speed from AD Link to tell our winners what they'll be heading home with. Joe, you there?
Absolutely. Congratulations. Really exciting stuff. So for the first place team, you're getting a 80-link Ross Cube autonomous driving controller. It's a Xavier AGX with support for 8 hardware synchronized 3 gigabit per second GMSL2 cameras with integrated IMU.
Looks like it comes in with a built-in ringtone too, right, Joe?
Yeah, sorry about that. So that's for the first place, and also
back to the Ryan. Yeah.
So here we see in second place, we got the University of Alabama. This team has been involved in several competitions in the past, including a finish at 10th place in last year's Formula SAE competition. They really have to be really inspired with their performance here today in the second hackathon, taking home that silver medal. Looks like the tide just keeps on rolling. Let's see what they'll be coming home with for second place here today.
Yes, for second place, the 80-link Ross Cube autonomous driving autonomous robot controller, Xavier AGX, so the base model without the GMSL cameras.
What a prize. I'm already jealous of these teams. As we look at third place here, we got Auburn University coming, as I mentioned, working out of their Gav Lab. These competitors have really racked up research on a variety of vehicle automation topics, whether it's developing an automated solution for platooning of Class 8 trucks or competing in the DARPA Grand Challenge that took place in the Mojave Desert. This team has nearly done it all, and I'm sure they're looking forward to adding on racing on the Brickyard to their list of many accomplishments. And they're off to a hot start with today's finish. They got to be proud of themselves with this bronze medal. Let's see what they're bringing home.
And the third place is the Ross Cube Xavier NX. So this is a very small form factor, easy for embedding in robots. And the first place, second place, and third place teams, everyone on the team gets a custom Indy Autonomous Challenge t-shirt of the Ross Turtle driving the IAC race car by the artist who does all of the Open Robotics RossCon t-shirts.
Beautiful. That's the perfect gift to give your loved one. Everybody is clamoring for one of those Indy Autonomous Challenge t-shirts. I'm hoping one shows up in the mail at my house. That's really great stuff for third place there. Congrats to all teams here. Let's move forward to the next slide and close out this competition here.
That was a pretty subtle hint, Ryan. So, you want to give out your home address too, so they can know where to mail it to?
Yeah, I would love to. Absolutely. My address is 1234 no way.
Fair enough. Let's turn it over to Turan so he can talk a little bit about some of our social challenges next.
Hi there, everyone. Excellent work, and congratulations to the winners. We want you to document your journey, your story, how you got here. So, we want you to basically create a blog or a write-up with your team or in school, your approach to the challenge, how you use the various ANSYS technologies, and the lessons learned. You can embed videos, images, whatever have you. So, create a blog on your favorite platform, whether it's Medium or your university page or LinkedIn profile, and share it to the different LinkedIn groups like automotive industry professionals worldwide. And then also share the blog or image or anything that you like, on your social accounts, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. So, and we also want you to use some of these hashtags to help you get more visibility of the work you've done and your accomplishments. So IAC 2021, ANSYS simulation, future mobility, et cetera. And then you can also access these ANSYS social channels that I've listed over here on Facebook. There's a group as well as a web page, as well as Twitter. You can share your blog on Twitter as well. And then we also want you to get involved with a community which is dedicated to learning and staying on the cutting edge of technology, which is Wevolver. And so you can sign up for free and publish your story and subsequent updates. So basically you have lots of different communities. So for example, MIT has their own page and all the different things that they do there. So all you have to do is basically send an email to info@wevolver.com and you'll get a special account. And we will also have a special place, an Indy Autonomous Challenge page, where we will list all these stories, which will then be reachable and actually posted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, Telegram, TikTok, YouTube, and also included in the newsletter. Thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone. Have a great one. Start your engines and let's go.
Very good, Tarun. Thank you very much. And I just want to say, as we're wrapping things up here, I started off by talking about the fact that we at ANSYS are in the superhero making business, and I really want to hand it to all of the teams, whether you had penalties, whether you finished or not. This is a win for all of you. It's a win for all of us. It's a win for the industry. It is so gratifying to be able to see so much passion and energy around making autonomous driving, autonomous racing, something as iconic as the Indianapolis 500. Seeing that is so incredibly exciting and gratifying. Thank you for your dedication. I know that this was not an easy challenge. I can guarantee you the next one is going to be even harder. So get some sleep, get some studying in, and get ready for it. We've made a huge leap forward. You have made a huge leap forward in making autonomous driving and autonomous racing a reality. And this is going to make a huge difference in the world. It's going to literally save lives. It's going to make us so much more productive as a people. And I think that the work that you all have done has been outstanding. So from all of us at ANSYS, thank you for taking this so seriously. Thank you for making it as special as it has been. And with that, I don't believe that we have. Yeah, with that, I will, Matt. I'll throw it back to you. Back to Matt Deck. Peak.
Hey. Am I on? Guys, just want to thank you very much. Couldn't be more excited. We had our own little Iron Bowl here for those of you that are U.S. college football fans. Was thrilled to see the competition play out as it did. And, I couldn't help but smile at the Auburn-Alabama rivalry that emerged. Congrats, Auburn, Alabama, Paula Move, to all of you guys. I mean, a lot of impressive performances all the way around. couldn't be more thrilled. Hope you guys are proud of your work, and we look forward to continuing this journey with you as we move onwards to our next hackathon. Thanks a lot for joining.